Hello, my Holistic Soul Sisters. Welcome back to Holistic Soul Sister TV. I'm Mandy Rose, your Relational Astrologer, and today we're going to talk all about the new moon in Cancer. This is my favorite new moon of 2022. I've been looking forward to it all year long, and so I'm excited to dive in. It's not dramatic. It's actually very calm, very chill. It's going to bring about some new beginnings, new blessings. New moons are always new chapters, and whenever we have a new moon in Cancer, which happens typically once a year, we have this opportunity to start something new in an area of our life that means so much to us. So in this video, we're going to not only talk about this new moon in Cancer, but we're also going to talk about what's going on in the astro weather. What are the other planets doing? Because on this day, June 28th, when we have this new moon in Cancer, we also have one other major astrological event that is occurring at the exact same time. So we're going to dive into all of that. And of course, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you some new moon ritual ideas that you can do to maximize this energy and start a brand new beginning in the area of your life that Cancer rules. So let's go ahead and start this video with the basics of this new moon in Cancer. Now, if you have your 2022 Retrograde Astrology Journal, you will see when you open up to the new moon that not only have I listed out some information about this new moon, but I also have put in the crystals, the herbs, and the chakra point that you can work on during this new moon, as well as some journal prompts for you to go ahead and fill out. So let's dive into the basics. So this new moon is happening on June 28th at 10:52 p.m. and it is happening at 7 degrees of Cancer. So if we go ahead and pull up the chart here, you will see that the sun is at 7 degrees of Cancer and the moon is also at 7 degrees of Cancer. Anytime that the sun and the moon meet up together in the sky, it's what we call a conjunction, and we have a new moon. It's happening at 7 degrees of Cancer, which means that the sun has officially moved into the zodiac sign of Cancer, which happened on June 21st. That was the day of the summer solstice, the day where in the northern hemisphere we have the most light. The sun is able to shine its heat and life and vitality and illuminate the world in the northern hemisphere for the most amount of time. So it's such a magical day. On that day, the sun entered Cancer at 0 degrees. The sun moves around the zodiac wheel 1 degree per day. So here we are 7 days later on June 28th, where the sun is at 7 degrees, met up with the moon also at 7 degrees. So to better understand what this new moon is bringing to us, we have to understand the zodiac sign of Cancer. So let's take a moment to reflect on what does Cancer represent. Now, the first thing we have to acknowledge is that Cancer is a water energy. Any of the zodiac signs that have water energy represent emotions. It represents the part of us that wants to go with the flow and wants to be nurtured. There's a calming peace and relaxation to the Cancer water. Now we have 3 water signs. One of them is Cancer, which I like to equate with the waves that kind of comes in and out, and it's nostalgic and it feels good. And we have emotions and they ebb and they flow. We have the water sign of Scorpio, which is like really deep, intense emotion. It's like that white water that is bubbling under the surface that we know if we go into, it's going to suck us under. That is the emotional water energy of Scorpio. And the third water energy we have in the zodiac is Pisces. Now, Pisces is the water energy of rain, where it's cleansing and it's clearing, and sometimes that rain can feel really hard on our skin, but no matter what, it feels like we are showering and washing away all the old. So each water zodiac sign brings a different element of emotion to us, and so Cancer is that calm, peaceful serenity. And so when we deal with Cancer energy, when the sun is in Cancer or the moon is in Cancer, or honestly any planets are in Cancer, it makes us want to find safety and security. It is represented by the crab. So think of the crab. The crab likes to explore, it likes to get out there, but it always carries its shell with it, because if it feels uncomfortable or it feels unsafe, it goes right back into its shell. So we have to think that is the energy of Cancer season as the sun moves through Cancer for the next 30 days. And then this new moon helps us find a new beginning in those areas of life. Now, Cancer also deals with the areas of our life, such as our home, our family. It deals with nostalgia and past memories. It deals with our childhood. It deals with the emotions that we experience around our safety, security, security and comfort. And Cancer is also the feminine zodiac sign. So it deals with our nurturing and our self-care and our ability to go with the flow and to receive from others. So there's this very motherly, feminine energy to the zodiac sign of Cancer. So now that we understand what Cancer represents, we can see as we have a new moon in this part of the sky, these are areas of our life that we need to start new chapters and new beginnings on. New moons are all about setting the intention to improve, to add in, to manifest in some area of life. So maybe you want to manifest a new home environment, or maybe you want to set an intention around being more feminine or going with the flow. This is a perfect new moon to be able to work with any of these areas of your life and to set up new beginnings. You're going to want to go ahead and pull up your birth chart, and you're going to want to go ahead and look to see where you see all of your planets listed out. And next to each planet, there's going to be a zodiac sign. So for instance, it might say Venus in Aries, Mercury in Gemini, Mars in Scorpio, whatever it might be. And you're going to want to go and look at all that list and see if you have any planets in Cancer. If you do have any planets in Cancer, you're going to want to see if they are close to 7 degrees. So usually in your birth chart, when you pull it up online, it's going to list the planet. Next to the planet is going to be all the zodiac signs, and next to that is going to be a number. So if you follow along the chart and you see a planet in Cancer, then follow the chart over to the number and see if that number is near 7 degrees. If it is, then this new moon is impacting you directly. So if you need more help with that, feel free to reach out to me. That is something I work with people on as a relational astrologer. We do your birth chart reading, but I also do Astro weather forecasts. So we look up your yearly forecast and I let you know in your reading if you have any new or full moons that are going to impact you directly. So if you have any questions or want to do a mini reading, especially for the retrogrades coming up, we can go ahead and add you into my calendar. But for the purpose of this video, just think about all the topics that Cancer rules, and this is an area for you to start a new beginning. So go ahead and write that in your retrograde journal. Now, in order to take this new moon in Cancer one level deeper, we're gonna have to go ahead and understand what all the other planets are doing at the time of this new moon, because they play a part of this story to help us navigate this new chapter and understand what lessons we're meant to be learning at this time. So the first thing we're gonna wanna always look at when it's a new or a full moon is we're always going to look for the planet that rules that lunar event. So this is a new moon in Cancer. So we have to see what planet rules the zodiac sign of Cancer, and that is the moon. So it's actually a double moon energy because the sun, being in Cancer, is ruled by the moon, and then the moon is also involved. So there is heavy moon energy, which means femininity, nurturing, going with the flow. The moon ebbs and flows, right? It changes zodiac signs every couple days, so it's always adaptable. The moon is always in response to the light of the sun, so it's able to receive the sunlight, able to receive the goodness of life. So this is such a beautiful new moon, and you can start to see why this is one of my favorite new moons of the year, and especially now in 2022. Because we also have an amazing planet that is in direct conversation with this new moon, and that is the planet Jupiter. We can see here from the chart that Jupiter is also at 7 degrees, but not 7 degrees of Cancer, it's at 7 degrees of Aries. Now, Jupiter just entered Aries last month, and whenever Jupiter is here, he's able to be in power mode. Aries is all about fire and passion and taking action and being bold and being fearless and going after what lights your fire. And Jupiter expands and it blesses and it brings opportunity and it clears new ways and new paths for prosperity and abundance. And so Jupiter is living his best life in Aries, bringing us lots of opportunity when we follow our passions, opening the doors for things that light us up, that bring chi and vitality, that Aries fire to our life. And so now at the time of this new moon, it's in a direct conversation with the new moon because you have Jupiter in Aries at 7 degrees and the moon at 7 degrees of Cancer, which is 4 zodiac signs apart: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, 4 signs apart. Anytime you have planets that are 4 signs apart, especially when they're at the exact degree point. We have in astrology what's called a square, a 90-degree angle. And squares are typically tough conversations, but this one's actually very gentle. The new moon is asking for help and assistance, right? It's a double ruled moon. The sun is ruled by the moon and the moon is involved. And so you have this double moon energy of nurturing and receiving and going with the flow. So this new moon is asking for a new beginning of receptivity, of nurturing, of being provided for, of finding security and comfort, all the things that Cancer rules, and it's asking for help from Jupiter, which there is no better planet that we can ask for help from because Jupiter brings blessings. Jupiter brings expansion and growth and luck. So this is just a beautiful harmony of melting, and Jupiter in Aries is saying, follow your passion, follow what lights you up, and you will find the new. So I absolutely love this alignment at the time of this new moon. The other planet that I think is just absolutely wonderful at the time of this new moon is Venus. Venus moved from Taurus, where she typically loves to be, but she kind of had some roommates. She has Uranus, who's all about sudden jolting change and shaking things up. That roommate that every day you come home and things are redecorated. So she didn't feel super comfortable when she went home. And then also the North Node is there. And the North Node is all about moving into the future and stripping things away. So she was like, you know what? I'm going to come back to home in Taurus next year when things are calmer, but for now I'm going to move on to Gemini. And that's where she is at the time of this new moon. And whenever Venus is in Gemini, Venus rules our relationships, what we love. It rules our self-care and also that nurturing feminine energy. And when she's in Gemini, Gemini is the social sign, but more importantly, it's the communication sign. So we are able to communicate our needs. We are able to communicate and ask for things. We are able to set up boundaries and say our wants and desires and needs. So this is just a beautiful, harmonious energy with Jupiter and Venus, the benefic planets, the beautiful planets, the double moon energy at the time of this new moon in Cancer. So there is just a lot of lightness in the air after a very tough astrological season. We've been going through some crazy astro weather, and this is kind of that pause and break where we get to feel nurtured and flow and take a self-care day. This is some time for you to go into your cocoon, go into your crab shell, and nurture yourself. Be your own mother and find the comfort within. Now, there is one other wild card planet at the time of this new moon, and that involves the other major astrological event that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. On June 28th, not only are we experiencing a new moon in Cancer, but we are also experiencing Neptune going retrograde. He kicks off his retrograde on the same exact day. So we can see here from the chart, Neptune is in Pisces. He rules Pisces. This is his home sign. And he has been here since 2011, and he will be here until 2026. So he's very comfortable here, and he's already made it to 25 degrees of Pisces. There is only 30 degrees in each zodiac sign. So when he makes it to 25, he's like almost in the home stretch, except for the fact that he is now going retrograde starting today, June 28th. And I think this plays a very important factor into the message or the lesson we're supposed to be learning during this new moon, because Neptune is the planet of fantasy, of illusion, of living in la la land, of putting our rose-colored glasses on and just kind of living not on planet Earth. And sometimes that's a good thing. That helps us dream large. It helps us get through the challenges of life because we can just meditate and pretend we're on a beach somewhere, right? It's a beautiful planet to assist us in the journey of life, but sometimes it can become too self-indulgent. We can start to have escapism behavior where we use drugs, alcohol, shopping, other addictive behaviors to escape our reality. That is until Neptune goes retrograde. And when Neptune goes retrograde, it's like taking the rose-colored glasses off and we are having to face the truth, face the reality. We kind of get smacked across the head with a 2x4 from the universe, forcing us to accept our reality. This can be very uncomfortable. So Neptune's retrograde lasts about 5 months, and it's definitely something you're going to want to pay attention to and learn more about. Again, if you have your retrograde journal and you flip over the page from the new moon, you're going to see the Neptune retrograde double pages. All retrogrades have double pages because not only do we talk about that life coach planet like Neptune, we talk about his retrograde, what happens when he retrogrades. We also talk about the zodiac sign he's he's retrograding through, which is Pisces, which gives us the theme of the retrograde. I also give you guys what to expect during each retrograde, a perfect time to do certain things, and of course I give you the do's and don'ts. So to understand more about that, you can pick up a copy of your retrograde journal in the description box below. And you're gonna also want to like and subscribe to this channel because I put out a full Neptune retrograde video diving into all the details of what you're gonna wanna know that life coach Neptune is teaching us during his retrograde. But it's important to talk about during this new moon video because during this new moon, as he kicks off his journey, he's kind of saying that, hey, you're going to set some new intentions. There's going to be a lot of new, beautiful things that you're going to receive, that nurture, receive. You're going to be able to tap into your feminine. You're going to be able to go more with the flow. You're going to find some more security and stability and comfort, right? Especially in our home life that Cancer rules, with Jupiter involved in this and Venus being able to communicate her needs and communicate her boundaries and ask for things that she wants. This is beautiful. But Neptune is saying, hey, I'm going to take the rose-colored glasses off so you can see the truth. You're going to be able to see exactly what your reality looks like so you can get very clear about what new things you actually need to begin, right? Sometimes in a relationship, we think, oh, I don't need a new relationship. Me and my partner are great. He's going to change. He's working on these things. Like, my relationship's fine. I don't need to set a new intention around that. But then Neptune goes retrograde. Now the illusion disappears and our reality becomes truthful, that we're like, wow, maybe they won't change, or maybe they're just not like me. And these truths hurt. Neptune retrograde truth hurt. But we're able to use Jupiter's blessing and Venus and Gemini's ability to communicate our needs, to speak clearly, to speak truthfully, to accept what it is and figure out a way to solve it so we can manifest appropriately and move into that next chapter. That's why I find this new moon in Cancer in 2022 my favorite of the entire year. So hopefully you guys can see why. And to end this video, I will give you some ideas that you can use in your new moon in Cancer ritual. And these ideas you can use up to 3 days before to 3 days after the new moon. The energy will be potent over that entire span. So the first thing I would try to plan around this new moon is a self-care day. Such a beautiful day to go within, like the Cancer in the shell, and to nurture yourself, to be your own mother, to ask yourself, what do I need right now? Do I need more water? Do I need to meditate? Do I need to go for a walk? Do I need to meet up with my girlfriends? What do you need to nurture yourself and to do a self-care day? The second thing I would do around the time of this new moon is to create a sacred space in your home. As a lot of emotions flow and a lot of things come up, you want a space in your home that you can always go to and feel safe and secure. So whether you live with other people and that is your bedroom, or if you're able to create a little sanctuary on your patio or your porch, it's so wonderful to set up this space so when you're feeling things or processing things, you know that you can go there and it is your comfort zone, right? It's like your crab shell. And the third thing I would do around the time of this new moon is spend some time with your family. And if you don't have family close by, honor your family in some way. Create a photo album, maybe make a Facebook post and shout them out. Spend a little extra time on FaceTime with your mom or dad or siblings. Whenever the sun is in Cancer, it illuminates the part of us that is nostalgic for the past. So we like to go down memory lane and look at old photos, or we just feel more comfortable around our family because we're seeking some sense of nostalgia that makes us feel safe. Even if our family has some toxic stuff going on, we still know that they know us better than anyone else. So kind of indulge in this nostalgia and set up some time to honor your family or honor the traditions in your family. So that's all I have for you for this new moon in Cancer. I hope you feel the benefits of this beautiful new moon and you get to set some wonderful intentions. If you have any questions about this new moon or astrology, never hesitate to reach out to me in the description box below. I have my contact information. Follow me over on social media. You can send me a message on Instagram at holistic.soul.sisters or reach out per email if you're interested in booking a birth chart reading. Thank you guys so much for following me along on this journey of astrology and for following along over on TikTok at the Relational Astrologer, where I only focus on astrology and relationships. Thank you so much for following along on Holistic Soul Sister TV. Make sure you hit like and subscribe so you can catch that Neptune and retrograde video and all the upcoming videos I have. If you watched that June Astro weather forecast video and you really enjoyed that format of overview that I did for June, let me know and I'll do another one for July if you felt that it benefited you. Otherwise, stay tuned for more new and full moon videos coming up, and of course more retrograde videos, because by August we will have 7 planets retrograde, and I'm working on right now putting together a retrograde workshop where you can attend and bring your birth chart, and we're going to talk about all 7 planets, which each planet is trying to teach us during its retrograde, and I'm going to help guide you through which house, which area of your life you're supposed to be learning those lessons in. So stay tuned for that. You will find all the information for that on the Instagram, again, at holistic.soul.sisters, or in our private Facebook community, which you can find the link in the description box below. Come join your Holistic Soul Sisters in that community. All right, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next video.